Hello, and welcome to our webinar on the Wisconsin DPI Robotics League Participation Grant. This webinar is hosted by FTC Team 18367. Our team is a rookie FTC team from Greendale, Wisconsin. We have 14 participants, including 5 programmers, 4 mechanics, and 5 business team members. We are part of state, national, and international FIRST advocacy initiatives. This webinar is for any middle or high school FIRST teams in Wisconsin that are looking for funding. This includes all FTC and FRC teams, as well as FLL teams with members only in grades 6 and above. By the end of this webinar, you will know everything you need to know to successfully submit your grant request for up to $5,000 from the Wisconsin DPI. In this webinar, we will cover an overview of the grant, we will tell you what you need to know to apply for the grant, and walk you through an online grant submission. Before starting your application, you should have your federal employer identification number. If you're a school-based team, you can ask your school for this number. Otherwise, you can try using your lead mentor social security number if you're a home-based team. You also want to have your budget. The grant will ask you what you plan to spend your money on. And lastly, you should have matching funds. If you're asking for $5,000 from the DPI, you need to make sure you can have $5,000 coming from other sources to fund your team. The grant provides $500,000 to robotics teams in Wisconsin. This year, the deadline is October 15, 2020. It is available to all Wisconsin robotics teams with students only in grades 6 to 12. The maximum award amount is $5,000. You must have matching funds and collect receipts proving your purchases throughout the year so you can receive reimbursements after the grant year is complete. To start your application, go to the URL on the screen or search up Wisconsin DPI Robotics League Participation Grants. We will now walk you through your online submission. Now that you are on the page for the online submission of the Robotics League Participation Grant, scroll down to where it says Submit Online. Then click the electronic application. Once you are here, you can read the introduction, and once you have read the introduction, scroll down to where you can begin the application. To begin, click your applicant type, a school district, private school, charter school, or home-based organization, and click how much funds you are requesting. Remember, you must provide matching funds to the amount requested. Then you can enter your DUNS number. If you do not know your DUNS number, you can look it up by clicking the URL, and if you do not have a DUNS number, you can request one. Any organization, even a home-based team, can request a DUNS number. And then enter your FEIN number, which you can request from your school district, or you can try using your mentor's social security number if you are a home-based team and do not have an FEIN number. Now, we will begin entering information about your entity, which is your public school, private school, charter school, or home-based organization. So put in the name of your entity, the telephone number, its mailing address, the fax number, a first or last name of a principal, private school administrator, your home-based administrator, or another administrator, and their email. Make sure this information is correct, as it's important for getting your grant money. Once you're done, go to the next page. Here you want to enter your contact person. If you're at a school, it should be a school employee like an activities director or a lead teacher who will be responsible for being contacted about the grant. Once you have filled out this page, go on to the next one. Here you will enter your robotics team mentor's name, person listed as lead mentor 1 in your FIRST system. And then click if you're a rookie team or existing team. Once you have selected if you're a rookie or existing team, begin entering team name. We recommend to put your team name as well as the organization abbreviation, so FTC, FRC, or FOL, and your team number. So we will be putting GRAFFITI, which is our team name, as well as FTC 18367. And then click the grade levels of students you have on the team. So whatever applies. Just a reminder, you cannot have any 5th graders on your team or you are not eligible for the grant. And then put the name of the nonprofit organization. So in this case, it would be FIRST for most of you watching here. Other examples would be VEX, etc. And your estimated competition date. So we're going to be putting our first qualifier in there. And then go on to the next page. Here you will be putting in your matching funds for the grant. So you have sources of five different source options, and this has to add up to the amount that you're requesting from the DPI. So when we begin entering, you can use team dues, small fundraisers, corporate sponsors, or any other way that your team receives money. Once you have all your matching funds, make sure you total your matching funds. So we're requesting $5,000, so we have $5,000 in matching funds. And we will move on to the next page. On this page, you have to enter what you plan on using your money for. And make sure that for everything that you say you have grant funds requested, you have an equal amount of matching funds. So as you can see, we have $400 requested for the robotics fee and $400 of our matching funds going towards the robotics fee. And it totals $5,000 in both categories. And then say, yes, the 100% dollar match is equal or greater to the total funds requested. And we recommend not putting any travel expenses this year, as you have to submit receipts in the categories that you assign. And with COVID, teams do not know really if they're going to travel or if they're or not. So do not put your money for travel, because then you won't be able to get that money from the DPI. We are almost done, so certify the next 2 boxes, and then enter your school principal's first name and last name and title. And then you need an electronic signature. And then the date you're filling out the application. And then you can click the submit button once you have finished your application. Thank you so much for viewing our webinar on the Wisconsin DPI Robotics League Participation Grant. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at greendalerobotics@gmail.com with questions on the grant, advocacy, or FTC in Wisconsin. You can also connect with us on our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Greendale FTC. And thank you to our sponsors, the Greendale Education Foundation and Blue Yonder, for making this possible. Thanks again for watching our webinar. We hope it was very helpful to your team.